Alright, so the theme for this deck is to mill your opponent using Voltic Bicorn, who mills 7 cards from both players' decks when he's destroyed by an opponent's card or battle. The thing is with this deck, it was kind of hard to build, because milling your opponent with Voltic Bicorn, you have to get his effect off 5 times in order to mill your opponent completely. Assuming worst case scenario. 5 times. Well, I mean, I guess 4 times if it's later on in the duel, but you have to aim for around 4 or 5 in order to mill your opponent completely. And since you can only make 3 of them, this deck relies heavily on bringing Voltic Bicorn back from the grave, with cards like Ares Rock Sunrise, Call of the Haunted, and Miracle's Wake. Time Machine works just as well as Miracle's Wake. No, I mean, Miracle's Wake is better, but I mean, Time Machine does the same thing. Basically, if a monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it during that turn. Time Machine, if a monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it immediately after it got destroyed by that battle. So, there's a little bit of leeway with Miracle's Wake, where Time Machine there isn't. You have to bring it back immediately. And there wasn't really that much room to play the Time Machines as well. Since I had to mill so much with Voltic Bicorn, it wasn't really possible. Even with all of the special summon cards I have out, and the way bringing out Voltic Bicorn wasn't really that big of a deal either, since Instant Fusion and Norden's a thing. I just decided to go with that as my main engine. Use Instant Fusion, go into Norden, use him to bring out an X-Saber Arabellum, and just go straight into Bicorn that way. A 1-card Bicorn. I could also just use Arabellum with the, multitude of level 4 monsters that special summon themselves effortlessly. Like Hat Tricker, not Damage Juggler, but Trick Clown and Assault Halberd. And I was able to pretty much bring out a Voltic Bicorn every single time I had an Arabellum in my hand or on the field. So bringing out Bicorn was really easy with this deck. The biggest problem I had was getting his effect off 5 times. So I found a way to supplement that with Skull Layer and Necroface. Now, Necroface, when he's banished, you can remove the top 5 cards from both players' decks. Well, it's mandatory effect. So, if I just use Skull Layer, which allows you to remove any number of cards from your graveyard in order to destroy a face-up monster on the field equal to the level of the number of monsters you remove. So if your opponent has like a level 4 monster you want to destroy, you banish 4 cards from your graveyard. Since Voltic Bicorn mills from both players' decks, getting the monsters in the graveyard is really easy. And all I need to do is just get my 2 Necrofaces in the grave, or one of them, because Necroface, when it banishes the top 5 cards in both players' decks, has a chance to banish your other Necroface in the deck if it's not in the graveyard when you use Skull Layer. So you can get 10 cards that way. With Necroface in-game, it reduces the number of times I need to get off Voltic Bicorn's effect from 5 times to 3, which is a lot more manageable. Well, 3 times plus a couple of turns, since your opponent starts off with 5, and, that's 35 right there. And 7 times 5 is 35 exactly, so if you want to mill him the first turn, you can if you get off Voltic Bicorn's effect 5 times, but this really allows you to actually do this deck. It allows this deck to actually work. Only the problem is you just need to have Skull Layer. If you don't have Skull Layer, there's no other way to really banish Necroface. So if you accidentally mill all your Skull Layers, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to mill your opponent. But if you get one of them, you're fine, because the rest of the deck revolves around bringing out Bicorn and then reusing its effect over and over.